You're always happy. Do you even have bad days? Yeah, I do. And then I fix them. And then I make them good days. And that's the difference. I choose how I feel. I make the choices around what I'm feeling. And then I mitigate the bad days and the things that go wrong and the things that make me feel down and sad with action. Most of the time, sadness, depression, anxiety, all of these things are caused by inaction or focusing on the things that you cannot control. Now, I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination it isn't easy to flip on a dime to choose to be happy. But that's exactly what it is. You choose to be happy. You make the choice of being happy. And even if I was having the worst day ever, you would never know, because my feelings don't matter. How I feel about it, if I'm feeling down, if I'm feeling out, if I'm feeling sad, all that kind of stuff, that shit doesn't matter. What does matter is doing the work. What does matter is my pursuit of greatness. What does matter is my commitment to being the greatest version of myself that I physically can be. That is what matters. So I do the work regardless of my feelings, regardless of where I'm at, regardless of if I want to or not. Because I made a commitment. I made a decision. I decided that this is what was happening, that I was going all in, that I was gonna get this done. So that's what's happening. So no, I don't have bad days. I have slightly harder days, but I choose how I show up, and I choose how I feel. And I do firmly believe that you can mitigate most of the things that cause your bad days through consistent action, through showing up and doing the work. That so often those bad days are because, as I said, you're focusing on things outside of your control. You're trying to stay on top of things that you can't change, instead of going, all right, what is within my control? There are only 3 things within your control: your thoughts, your actions, and your habits. As long as you're in control of them, as long as you're doing the work for them, the rest isn't up to you. And it does take a lot to learn the skills of letting that go, of going, well, I have done everything in my power. I've shown up, I have given it my all. That's it, though. And you have to be happy and satisfied with that. As long as you can honestly and truthfully say that you have done that, and you have given it everything you have to give, then there's nothing else to give. There's nothing else to do. If you've left it all out there, then you can be happy and satisfied. You might not be pleased with the outcome, but you can't change that. So there's no point throwing off your state, throwing out your emotions by focusing on something that you can't do anything else about. And then if you don't get the outcome that you want, then you double down, you find new ways, and you commit to the things that you can control. This is how you make progress. But so many of us get caught up and get affected by the things that are beyond us, beyond our control. And I promise you, the majority of the time, that if you get hit with those emotions, you get hit with that feeling down or sadness or whatever it might be, and you step yourself into action and you start doing things, start taking action, movement especially, you'll often find that you'll snap back out of it. You'll often find that things will suddenly get better. Because you did. You changed your state. A lot of our state, our mental state, comes from inaction, of, being stationary, of being stuck. So get moving, whatever that looks like. If you have time for a workout, get in a workout. If you have time for a weighted walk, get that done. Push yourself, make yourself sweat. See where you end up after that. If not, just do whatever time capacity you have. Do 100 body weight squats, or do 10, or do whatever you have available. Do walk up and down the stairs, walk around your desk a couple of times. It doesn't matter. Get yourself moving, and you'll find that those emotions weren't real, that they were actually stagnation, that they weren't an actual reflection of where you currently are. But I mean it when I say we are deeply in control of our actions and then our feelings by subsequently. That if you can focus on taking better action, if you can focus on doing something to progress you forward, even if you feel like it's not going in your favor, take action. Step into action towards something. Then at least you know you have done something. There is always something you can do. So if you're anxious about an outcome, if you're anxious about it, okay, focus on what you can control. What actions can you control right here and there? And if the answer is nothing, then just surrender to the process. If you have done everything, surrender to the process and trust that it will work out for you. Because if you've given everything you've got, if there's nothing left to give, then there's no point building yourself into a state about it. There is no point pushing yourself and working yourself up about things that you cannot change. Because it's just going to lead you into a place that you'll end up spiraling. So yeah, no, I don't have bad days. Not that you'll notice anyway. Because I choose every single day to make my feelings irrelevant. I choose happiness. I choose joy. I choose satisfaction. I choose, fulfillment in that I had done the work. That I have shown up. I have done what is required of me. If that isn't enough, then that isn't enough. But I've done everything I can control. And I do truly believe that too often we get caught up in these things that are so far beyond us. And we want to focus on things beyond our control. But we're in control of our state, as I said. We are in control of our state. So start with movement. Start with physically changing your state. If that doesn't work, go into a breathing pattern. Calm yourself down if you've worked yourself into a state. So if we've worked yourself into a state, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling ramped up, you're feeling out of control, calm yourself down. So how we do this is what we call a parasympathetic breath, or a double inhale. So you breathe in through your nose, and then breathe in again, and then a really slow exhale through the mouth. And this action will calm your nervous system down. You do that 3 to 5 times, 10 times if you really feel you have the time and you need to really calm yourself. And it'll shift you out of that fight or flight mode, and it'll shift you into a calmer state. And then from there, start making decisions based on a calmer state. And even nothing else, I strongly recommend just doing that semi-regularly through the day. Because as you get stressed and as you get hit with things and you feel like things are starting to bubble up, and because there will still be stress throughout the day, pull yourself back down, calm yourself down, and pull yourself back into that state, into a calm, collective state where you can make the right choices, where you can make decisions based on not anxiety and stress, but on what's going to be best for you. From there, you can make the right choices. Now, if you've calmed your state and you've done some movement and things still aren't feeling the right, get into action. Maybe you can't change the current thing that's stressing you out. Maybe you can't change that thing that is causing you the anxiety and sadness and depression. But there has to be something that you can control, something that you can progress forward on. So what is it? What is that thing that you can progress forward on? What is that thing that you can step into action on and do something about? Do that. Focus on that point. Focus on being that version of yourself. Focus on what you can dictate and what you can control. And take action that is going to be positive and move you forward. I know on the days where I feel like, I am battling an uphill battle and I'm losing that battle. Sometimes I just need to take 15, 20 minutes away and I go do something I know that I can win at. I know I can complete. I know that I can do well on. So I'll go do those things. I'll go push forward on those things there, on the things that I can get a win on. Because a lot of the time it's about momentum. Like we speak a lot about momentum in here, because momentum is the greatest thing ever. So if you feel like you're out of control, go build some momentum. Go get some wins in the win column. Stop stacking up losses. Stop stacking up anxiety. Stop stacking up, analysis by paralysis, or paralysis by analysis, sorry, and get some W's on the board. Whatever that might be. As I said, the first thing is always, I find, the best thing is a workout, because it's an instant W. Makes you feel better, puts you in a good mood, releases some endorphins, bit of dopamine. Things are suddenly looking up in the world. So you get that win on the table. But even if it's work or life or whatever it might be, go get some W's on the board. Pick the things that you can knock off in 5 minutes and go, oh, sweet, I accomplished that and that and that and that. And now you're like, oh, I'm really flowing into momentum. So you can keep going and you keep pushing forward and you just keep moving forward and stacking that momentum. Because it's the same concept as the 5-minute rule. If you're struggling to start something, whether it be a habit, work you need to do, a workout, eating, whatever it might be, just give yourself 5 minutes. Start with 5 minutes and go, I am just going to do 5 minutes of this. I'm just going to do a 5-minute workout or 5 minutes of work or whatever it might be. Tell yourself you're going to do 5 minutes. And give yourself the option that after 5 minutes you can quit if you need to. But what you'll find the majority of the time is once you get started, once you've overcome the first hurdle, lo and behold, things get easier. Things start to flow. Things start to work out. So do that. You just need to build a little bit of momentum. That starting is often the hardest part. And the other option is to get out of your head. Because so much of anxiety, depression, sadness, all this kind of stuff is in your motherfucking head. They're in the stories that you've built up that just fundamentally aren't true. But you've made this scenario, this incident, whatever it might be, way, way bigger than it needs to be, way bigger than it has any right to be. And so it's built up into this gigantic thing because you keep building it up in your head. So how do you overcome that? You get it out of your head. Write it down on paper. Write it out clearly. Write out all the stories that you have attached to it. And lo and behold, more often than not, you'll realize that the thing that you'd built up into this gigantic thing that was insurmountable wasn't fucking true in the first place. And even if it was, it's not that big a deal to overcome. But while it's in your head, it just keeps building and building and building and building, and it keeps stacking things on top of it. And that's where the problem lies. That while it's all up here, while it's all in your head, there's going to be problems. You're going to keep telling yourself things. You're going to keep making it worse, and you'll be adding things to it all the time. And oftentimes the stories that you're adding, the complications, the issues that are arising aren't fucking true. So you need to remove yourself from that situation. You need to remove it out of you. So write it all down. My favorite version of this is what we call a mind dump. And it's as it sounds. You get an A4 bit of paper, or potentially a book, depending on how big the story you've told in your head is, and you just write it all down. You write down everything that comes to your head, no matter how nonsensical it means. You know, I've written and started many of these with, this feels fucking stupid. I don't know what to write. I don't know what's causing me this pain. I don't know what's causing me to be upset. Blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden something will come out and you're like, oh shit, is that what this is? But you give yourself an opportunity to get it out of your head, where it just keeps infesting and manifesting into something bigger than it needs to be. And you get it out on paper and you're like, huh, right, is that all? But we are in control. We have the option at all points to take control of our situation. We are not, held hostage by our feelings and our emotions. It is a decision. We need to start making better decisions. We need to start realizing that that is what it is, that it is our decision, our opportunity, and we are in control if we want it to be. The question is, do you want to take back control? We need to stop living on the sidelines and just letting life happen to us and start making a conscious decision towards being in control of our lives, leading our best lives, chasing greatness through our best lives. It starts with being in charge. It starts with being aware. It starts with doing what is required. But to lead a happy and fulfilled and satisfied life requires effort, and effort in things that people don't think require effort, like happiness. Happiness isn't something that just appears one day. It is a choice, and it's a choosing those things over and over and over again. Same with fulfillment, same with satisfaction. It's choosing to do the things that are going to lead you to this path. It doesn't just appear out of nowhere. No, you make it happen. You make the choices. People who are the happiest have chosen to be that way. It's not like they're just happy all the time by default. No, they make choices. They make definitive choices about what matters most to them. And most of the time, that's being happy. Because why would you want to be sad when you can be happy? So make the choices that matter. Start making decisions about how your day is going to go. And that comes down to all areas. It's about how you feel about it. It's about how you choose to react to situations. It's the 90-10 principle. 10% of life is what happens to you. 90% is how you react to it. But even down to how you start your day. If you start your day in a place of anxiety and stress and just manicness, your day is probably going to go pretty badly. But if you choose to start your day on the right foot and do the right things and kick it off in the right direction, things are most likely going to get better. Things will most likely flow in a good, positive way, because how we start and how we end the day impacts the next one. So start making better choices. Start making the choices that matter towards the things that you want to see happen. And that's how we start this game. So if you want to start making better choices, you want to start doing things towards being the best version of yourself, towards showing up as the greatest version of yourself and being happy, shoot me a message. Let's get you into the work. Let's get you into chasing greatness daily and see who you can become on the other side. If you're not quite there yet, click the link in my bio, grab my top 10 tools to transform your mental toughness. And lastly, if this spoke to you, if it inspired you, if you know someone who needs to hear this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'm here every single day, leading from the front, leading from my experiences as I go through this journey, and hoping to help you avoid all the mistakes that I've made along the way. But I'll be back again.